murdered in October of 2019. Before I turn it over to Sheriff Davis to provide us an update, I do want to say that this is still an active investigation. So as we provide updates and as we move forward, there may be some questions that we understand that we can't answer at this time. But we will make sure that we provide any sort of updates through every step of this case via our social media, via email, et cetera, that way. So without further ado, I do want to turn it over to Sheriff Davis to provide an update. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. We want to welcome everybody here today. We have some exciting news from our Sheriff's Office. I'll just start with a little bit of history about the case. In 2019, October 1st, we received a call of a deceased male, appeared to be Jacob Bishop, was found by his mother that had been shot multiple times and bound by zip ties. This obviously started an immediate criminal homicide investigation. At that time, Sheriff Guider was the sheriff, and as he retired in 2022, transferring the administration over to the current administration, one thing that we wanted to make sure we did was keep this at the forefront of our administration. And for the since 2019, that's what we've done. And today, the hours and hours of hard work have finally come to a successful indictment on a couple of individuals. The first individual is Eric Austin Bird of Lenore City. Second is Amanda James Bishop. Amanda James Bishop she was the current wife, but they were going through a heated custody battle over their child, and we believe this is what sparked the animosity between the two and eventually led to his murder. The ongoing investigation, like I said, with countless hours of technology work by our partners in the FBI, TBI, I believe all the partners, Wilson County Sheriff's Office as well. Still a lot of work to be done on this case. We are still actively working the case. But we wanted to make this announcement as we're very proud of our criminal investigation division that is behind me, and also to give closure to Sheriff Guider as was the only unsolved murder case under his tenure of 32 years as sheriff. So we were glad we were able to bring that to a close and close that chapter. We want to thank everybody. We ought to take a couple of questions, but obviously be mindful we can't answer too many because of the investigation.
Are you able to speak to how you ended up getting to this point? I know 5 years is a long time for any investigation. How did we end up getting to this point? Was it a community tip? Was it just y'all's hard work? How was it?
It was good detective work. It's very good detective work. Countless amount of search warrants, waiting for search warrants, whether it be social media, cell phone, partners with TBI helping us with geofencing and data collection of that nature, ROCIC, which helped us a lot of putting all the mapping together to really get down to the fine steps and the actual articles of this case to be able to bring prosecution to it.
On a personal level, this is somebody who dedicated their life to service, not for this department necessarily, but for a greater good nonetheless. How shocking was it to learn about this case first, and then how disappointing is it to really just sort of go over the details of what happened?
Well, really, it hits close to home. Before Jacob was killed, he was in a deployment to Poland of Tennessee Army National Guard. As you know, our Chief Deputy, Zach Fry, is also in the National Guard, as well as Sergeant Detective Shane Gomer. We are preparing 3 of those to be able to be deployed to Kuwait. The Poland deployment was with Zach. He wasn't in his unit, but he knew of him. And us having those close personal ties with Tennessee Army National Guard really brings it close to home, as we all obviously want to take care of our service members that take care of us. So when this happened, it was very shocking that someone would do this to one of our service members.
You mentioned there are a lot of people knew of him, some knew him. By all accounts, what kind of a person was Jacob? Can you speak to that?
Well, he was a father, first of all, and a son, and being able to go and tell his mother today, after almost 5 years of countless nights of probably tears and worrying whether this was going to get solved or not, it was a very good relief to be able to tell her that we finally got 2 in custody.
Being that this was a family matter, how touchy did you have to be with this investigation? How shocking was it personally to learn of the charges that are now?
Well, with her being the one that found him, I think all of us can say that we're involved in this investigation and listening to some of the evidence that we've collected over the years, with the mother being the one that found him, and being able to tell her and see full range of emotion, of relief. And some people say, give them peace or closure. I don't think there's really closure in a case like this, but we can at least try to give them some justice. So that's what we're trying to do today, is give her a little bit of justice and be able to follow this through to get a conviction.
You mentioned it's been a long time. Can you speak about how often you
Constantly. It was constant. It was always in the forefront. It went through about 4 different investigators. We would go until all the leads would burn out. We'd put a fresh set of eyes on it. We've gone through about everyone in this division. Some that are even away from the division now have been involved in this case, so we're happy that it came to a conclusion.
Texas law enforcement agencies were involved in this case. Why was that?
Well, we had some people of interest, and we traveled to Texas. We were going to we were going to track down every lead that we had, so we had a lot of help from a Texas Sheriff's Office to interview some people of interest.
And you mentioned new technology that helped solve this case. Can you say what those new technologies were?
I would if I could explain them. A lot of our younger staff can explain a lot more of the tech, but with our partners with TBI and FBI, Secret Service, everyone has had a hand in this. So.
And I know you said that you've been working on this constantly. Your mother actually said they thought it was going to go cold. What does that mean for you to kind of show her now that you were working on it and you were able to be successful?
She was in constant communication with us. I think somebody got a text or a phone call about every week telling her that we're waiting on search warrants. We're waiting on search warrants. Kind of sound like a broken record. And she mentioned that today. She said, I always thought, y'all were just kind of telling me what I wanted to hear, but when it all came to fruition today, she saw the efforts.
You mentioned that you believe, in terms of the investigation, this was all over a custody battle over the 2 children. What's their status right now?
I'd rather not comment on that, on the kids. Yeah.
Was she always a top suspect for you guys? I know you had over 400, I think, it was suspects. Was she always kind of on the top?
Well, in a case like this, when it's with a heated custody battle, you always look at the spouse or the ex-spouse. So she was right up there at the very top of the list. Okay. All right. We want to thank you. Y'all should have the information that Chief Fry gave for you for all the arresting information on them. Okay. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you.